Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Miha. In this video, we'll explore some practical ways AI can help us fine-tune our writing for a specific audience. Now, we know that it's not just what we communicate that matters, but also how we communicate it. There is a good body of research that suggests that how we say something matters a great deal. This is a phenomenon known as language style matching, and it's the idea that if we use similar words, similar style, then we are more likely to think we're on the same page. We're more likely to agree. We're more likely to build trust. In fact, research has shown that not only are we more likely to listen to each other if we have a similar style of communication and similar speech patterns, but we're also likely to think more deeply about what we hear from each other. In other words, our speech, our written communication is more likely to be convincing. Today, we will look at three approaches for doing this with AI. First, we'll explore ways that AI can help us edit tone of our writing. Two, we'll look at ways that we can use AI to modify language for a particular audience. And then three, I'll show you how you can use AI to mimic someone's entire style of communication. All right, let's not waste any time. Jump right to the lab and have a look at how this works. Welcome to the lab, and let's get started. Now, I have a short memo that we will use to illustrate the editing powers of AI. This short memo I wrote, and I have it saved in Google Docs, and it's a short memo talking about AI and how it can be used to improve engagement in cities. I wrote this in a very colloquial voice, and I will not read the entire memo here. I'll only read the first paragraph every time we do an edit. However, you can find all of this material, the prompts, and the outputs saved in the video description below, so please feel free to reference that. This memo opens up with a short introduction. It's directed to a city manager, comes from a city enthusiast, subject AI and reaching our people with cool tech. And the first paragraph reads as follows. Hi, everyone. So I've been thinking a lot lately about how we connect with everyone in our city, the people we're actually here to serve. It's a big job, right? And sometimes it feels like we're just shouting into the wind, hoping someone hears us. That's where I think this whole AI thing could really shake things up in a good way. That seems like a good idea, but very colloquial. So let's see what we can do with this. All right, I will be using Google's Gemini today. And first thing we'll do is tell Gemini what we're doing. And the first task will be to ask it to turn that colloquial memo into something more professional. Here's a sample prompt that we could use. All right, pretty straightforward prompt. We told the AI what we're doing, just a little bit of context, and then an explicit instruction to help us edit this and why. All right, let's submit this. So here we go. Of course, I can help you with that. Excellent. So let's get started. To keep it simple, I'm just going to copy and paste the entire memo. We could, of course, save it as a document and upload it, but we'll just do copy paste to keep it simple. So here we go. It should now do what it told us it will do, which is go through our memo, make it far more formal and more appropriate for the type of audience that we are targeting. And you'll see with the version of Gemini I'm using, it's actually telling us what it's doing. Currently, it's fixing the from line, and now it'll move on to the text and edit the rest of it. And here we go. So let's compare the openings here, right? To city manager from Dr. Miha Venice, it put my name in instead of something more generic. The subject, enhancing civic engagement and communication through artificial intelligence. That seems far more appropriate than what we had before. And here's the first paragraph. This memorandum outlines the potential of artificial intelligence to significantly improve the city's communication strategies and enhance engagement with our constituents. Effective outreach is critical municipal function, and current methods can present challenges in ensuring broad and impactful dissemination of information. AI offers promising venues to address these challenges. Similar idea to what was in the original opening paragraph, but this is far more formal and probably more appropriate for that type of audience. Very simple example, and you can do this with pretty much any text. Now, let's think about language. What if we are communicating to somebody who is not as fluent with technology, or perhaps somebody who is not as familiar with city government, the type of terminology that's used? Let's imagine that our friend asked us to come and talk in his sixth or seventh grade civics class and asked us to explain to middle schoolers how artificial intelligence can impact city engagement. We can ask AI to do that by changing the language. So here is a sample prompt that you could use. All right, so we wanted to translate this into language that a sixth or seventh grader would understand. And let's see what it did. Here we go, right? Memo for middle schoolers from Dr. Miha, a friend who thinks cities are cool. Subject, awesome AI idea for our city. Here is the first paragraph. Hey, everyone. Have you ever thought about all the people who run our city? They do important stuff like making sure parks are clean, roads are fixed, and fun events happen. It's a big job, and they want to make sure they're doing what's best for everyone who lives there. That's you, your families, and your neighbors. One of the trickiest parts of their job is knowing what everyone in the city needs and thinks. It's like trying to listen to thousands of people talking at once. That's where something called artificial intelligence could be super helpful. Maybe a little bit too enthusiastic, but you can see how the language significantly changed to be more appropriate, right, for this type of an audience. And you can do this in different types of contexts. Perhaps you're an expert with a lot of financial or accounting knowledge or technical knowledge, and you need to translate that into a language that everyone else will understand. These are the kind of prompts that you might want to use. Now, let's consider one more instance. What if we're writing this for a particular audience who we know are big fans of, say, Carl Sagan? And we want to inject a little bit of Carl Sagan's tone and writing style and speaking style into our writing because we think that will resonate with them. Well, it turns out we can do that. Let me show you how. So here's a short prompt. Well, let's go back to the original memo you edited for me. My city leaders are big fans of Carl Sagan. Please rewrite the original memo pasted below and inject 20% of Carl Sagan's voice, specifically his cosmic metaphors and gentle rhetorical questions. So what I'm going to do is go back to the first edit, the formal edit, and I'm going to do the same thing as we did earlier, just copy and paste it. And I'm doing this just to make sure that Gemini knows exactly which version we want it to edit. And let's see how it does when it's injecting a little bit of Carl Sagan's style of communication style. So let's see how it does when it injects a little bit of Carl Sagan's communication style into our original memo. All right, here we go. Now the opening seems, oh, it's not, it's changed. Here's the subject. Enhancing civic engagement and communication through artificial intelligence, a frontier for understanding. And our first paragraph reads as follows. This memorandum outlines the extraordinary potential of artificial intelligence to significantly improve the city's communication strategies and deepen our engagement with the vibrant constellation of our constituents. Effective outreach, is it not a cornerstone of a thriving municipality? Yet current methods can represent challenges, like navigating a vast interstellar distance and ensuring broad and impactful dissemination of information. AI offers a promising new vessel for this journey. This is fantastic. You can see how this can be a powerful tool. Now, perhaps Carl Sagan isn't the right person, his voice to inject into your work, but think about who are the people that your audience like? Who are the people they listen to? Who are the people that resonate with them? That's where you might want to inject a little bit of that voice. And just to show you how powerful this tool is, let's do one more thing for fun. What if we asked AI to rewrite this memo for our city in Shakespeare's verse? I'm not sure this would be appropriate for your city council or your city manager, but just to showcase what AI can do, here is this original memo written in Shakespeare's style, in verse. Pretty impressive that it could do this. We could even ask it to do this in a different language, for example. So I hope this gave you some ideas of how AI can edit your material for tone, style, voice, language, and all kinds of other approaches. We'll look at more applications of this and more ideas on how to improve your writing with AI in following videos. Those are three simple ways you can use AI to modify your writing for a particular audience. Keep in mind that AI can do this very quickly, so it shouldn't be too much of a stretch to integrate this into your daily workflow. Think about the audience you have in mind, and then ask AI to help you tailor your writing in terms of tone, style, and language to meet that particular audience. I would like to raise one point of caution here. This is incredibly powerful technology, and it has already been used by bad actors for nefarious purposes. For example, there's been instances of fraud targeting organizations with the use of artificial intelligence. As you become more proficient with these tools and more familiar with their capabilities and their limitations, I hope that you will also become more savvy at identifying fraud that may be targeting you or your organization. If you have any comments about the video, suggestions, requests, recommendations, please let me know in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the content of the channel so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.